In the quiet village of Akoli, nestled between green hills and a winding river, where roosters clouded before dawn and everyone knew their neighbor's business before breakfast, lived a woman named Cassie, but the entire village affectionately, or sometimes wearily, called her Mama Homa. She earned that name not just because she was a mother, but because of her daughter, Homa, a name that when whispered, could send a wave of sighs through the community. Mama Homa was a widow. Her husband was taken by a brief illness when Homa was barely able to walk. Since then, Mama Homa had carried the weight of motherhood alone, pouring her strength into her small poultry beside her tiny hut. Each morning, she woke up before the sun, feeding her chicks, clearing the pens, and gathering the few eggs the hens laid. Her fowls were fat and healthy, and on market days, customers from far and near will gather at her stall before she even set up. She was known as one of the most honest and reliable sellers in Akoli market, loved for her patience, fair prices, and wide smile. But if Mama Homa was a peace, her daughter was the storm. Homa was the exact opposite of her mother. She was a striking young girl with deep brown skin and expressive eyes that could charm and challenge in a single glance. But her beauty was overshadowed by her troublesome nature. She was loud, hot-headed and argumentative. She was the type who could argue with the wall and still believe she won. It didn't matter if the discussion was about goats, madman or the weather. If Homa said it rained yesterday, then no one could convince her that the sun had been out all day. She would argue about anything with everybody, both young and old. Sometimes, when she is arguing, the veins in her forehead will be so visible, making whoever she is arguing with give up in arguing with her. She always believed she was right no matter what someone said. Homa argue and say they were wrong, even when it was clear that she was the one making mistake. Instead of her to accept that she's wrong, she would bring up something else and continue arguing just to prove a point that no one asked her to prove. People who didn't know her well argued with her, but those who knew her never argued. They just walked away quietly. Wherever Homa went, Waala followed. She was known across the entire village not just as a talkative but as a full-blown troublemaker. Homa never walked past a group of people without diving headfirst into their conversation, especially if there was an argument brewing. Every day, Mama Homa would wake up before the sun, clean up the pen, feed the chicks, gather eggs and prepare for the market. But her peace never lasted. Because just as she finished preparing her basket, the sound of Homa's loud voice could already be heard somewhere down the road, arguing.
Homa, my daughter, stop chasing argument like they are goats. Stay in this compound. Help me with the poultry. This poultry is what we eat from. It's our survivor.
Her mother told her one morning.
Mama, you don't understand. People in this village need to learn things. I can't just keep quiet when they are busy saying nonsense.
Homa said, adjusting her wrapper to her chest. Her mother dropped the feed pen, her voice rising.
Leave them, let them say their nonsense. Is it your nonsense? Homa, must you correct everybody? Homa, I'm tired of your problem.
But Homa wasn't listening. She was already stepping out of their small compound, heading into the village, her mouth sharper than a razor, and her ears looking for gossip to join. She never listened to her mother. Every day, she would tie her wrapper, walk out of their small hut and go around the village looking for where people are talking, so that she can join and argue. Sometimes she would argue so much that she'll be breathing heavily, almost out of breath, and if the argument didn't go in her favor, she will stand up and start fighting. One day, Homa was fetching water in the stream with her friends. They were talking and laughing until one of them, Amaka, said,
I think Mama Zizi cooks the best fufu in this village. She even won a prize last year.
Homa shouted.
Lie! That's a big lie. My mama cooks better than her. That prize was fake.
Her friends tried to explain, but Homa kept shouting and yelling. Her face turned red and the veins on her forehead popped out.
If anybody talk nonsense again, I will slap the person,
she shouted. That was how the small talk turned into a big fight. Homa's friends were tired of her. Many of them stopped talking to her. People began avoiding her. Some accepted anything she said, whether it was right or wrong, just to avoid getting into any argument with her. One lazy afternoon, Homer sat under the big mango tree near the village square with some of her childhood friends, Titi, Ebera, and Ugama. They were talking about the strangest topic ever: whether the sun was hotter in Akoli than in the nearby village of Amuko.
I'm telling you, Amuko's son passed Okoli on. When I went there last week, my skin almost peeled.
Titi said, eating her roasted corn.
That's a lie. Big lie.
Homer said, jumping to her feet.
Titi, do you even think before you talk? Is it not the same sun that shines on all the villages? Or do they have another separate sun in Amuko village?
Ebera tried to calm her down.
Homer, take it easy. It hasn't gotten to that now. It's just an expression. Calm down. Expression kill you there. You think I will allow foolishness in my presence? If I wasn't here, you people would have spread stupidity in the whole village.
Homer thundered, veins popping out of her forehead. Before long, Homer was already screaming, pacing, and pointing fingers. People gathered to watch again. Some chuckled, others sighed and shook their heads. Titi, now completely fed up, tried to walk away, but Homer grabbed her wrapper and pushed her, and Titi fell on the hard ground. She groaned in pain. That evening, Titi's mother stormed into Mama Homer's compound, banging on their tiny door, her hands akimbo, fire burning in her eyes. Mama Homer came out, looking confused.
Mama Homer, so your daughter is now going around this village tearing people's clothes and throwing punches like a mad goat. Control your daughter, oh. She's becoming a disgrace in this village. If she touches my daughter again, I will not take it easy on the both of you. Please, I beg you, please don't let this create enmity between us. I will talk to her, she won't do it again.
Mama Homer begged.
You better do, oh. If not, don't say I do not warn you.
Mama Titi said angrily. After Mama Titi left in anger, Mama Homer turned to her daughter with tears in her eyes.
Homer, you want to kill me? Are you trying to send me to my early grave? Have I not suffered enough? Must you disgrace me every day? I am begging you, Homer, please. Stop arguing. Stop fighting with people. Let people have peace. Stay in this house. Let's focus on our poultry farm.
Homer nodded and promised to change, but the next day, she was out again, arguing with people. One market day, Mama Homer was seated by her stall, her fowls clucking lazily beside her. Then she spotted one of her most loyal customers, Sister Ifeoma, walking past.
Sister Ifeoma, you no go buy fowl today?
She called out cheerfully. Sister Ifeoma stopped, turned slowly and looked at her like she was a stranger.
I can't keep buying fowl from a woman who can't control her daughter. If not for my intervention yesterday, your daughter almost fought my son because he said goat milk is sweeter than cow milk. How does that even make sense? Since you can't control your daughter, I said let me be going to another person's store to buy my fowl. So please, let me go in peace.
People gasped, murmured and laughed. Mama Homer sat there frozen as Sister Ifeoma walked away, leaving a trail of embarrassment behind her. That day, no single customer bought from her. Even the other women laughed and whispered behind their stalls.
Ewa, she don't turn her store to insult center.
One of them said.
It better make she carry all her fowl go give her daughter. Make she follow and argue since nobody won't buy the fowl again.
Another one added and they laughed. From that day, Mama Homer poultry business began to crumble. The once blooming stall became dry. Her fowls grew fat but unsold. She would sit from morning to sunset, and not one fowl would leave her cage. And all the while, Homer kept going out, arguing with people, fighting friends, shouting about the shape of clouds or whether yam was sweeter than rice. She believed she was educating people, but in reality, she was making enemies everywhere. Each night, her mother would say,
Homer, please, I am begging you, my business is dying. I can't even feed us properly anymore. Stop this wahala. Stay home, help me with the poultry farm.
And just as usual, Homer would nod, agree, and promise. But by the next day, a new fight would spring up, this time around with Mama Yugo's daughter, because they debated if it was the cock or the hen that crows at dawn. Homer insisted that it was the hen that usually crows, that the cock crows only during weekend, and once again, she beat the girl up when she refused to accept her truth. To the villagers, she was no longer just Homer, she was Miss Right, the girl who was always right even when she was wrong. Days turned into weeks, and Mama Homer's life became a shadow of what it once was. Her poultry, once the pride of Akoli Market, became just another forgotten stall. Her hens clucked in vain. Her fowls, now fat and ready, remained in cage, untouched and unwanted. No one wanted to associate with a woman whose daughter couldn't pass a crowd without starting a quarrel or an argument. Even the village children mocked her.
"No be Miss Right, Mama be this,"
they would shout as she walked by.
"Better no go near am before she go say your ear no dey your head."
Mama Homer would pretend not to hear them, but at night, when the village settled into silence, and the moonlight leaked through the cracks in their roof, she would cry. Quiet tears. Deep tears. The kind only mothers know, the ones that soak your pillow without a sound. Homer, however, still didn't see the gravity of her actions. A few days later, a town crier announced a big public meeting holding at the town square. A health officer from the city came to teach the villagers about basic hygiene and how to avoid diseases. The officer, Dr. Emeka, stood in the midst of the villagers under a tree and began to talk.
Please stop drinking directly from the stream. Boil your water first. Many sicknesses are coming from the dirty water. And stop keeping dirty environments.
But as expected, Homer stood up in the middle of the crowd.
"That's a lie! Big lie! Our ancestors drank from that same stream and they lived long. Nobody died."
Dr. Emeka stayed calm.
Young lady, I understand. But times have changed. Germs are more dangerous now.
"Germs ko? Germs ni? My great-grandmother lived up to 101 drinking water from that same stream without boiling the water. And you are here telling us to boil it before we drink it. Next thing now, you will tell us to boil rainwater before drinking it too. Please don't come here and confuse us. We are not sick. If your city people want to boil water, let them boil it and even fry it. We are fine here."
The crowd murmured in disgust.
Homer, calm down. Let's listen to him.
An elderly man said from the crowd, but Homer didn't stop.
"They are always bringing fake knowledge to the village. Next thing they will say is that we should boil garri before drinking it. Please go back to the city with your fake knowledge."
The murmur grew louder, but Dr. Emeka only nodded and continued his speech. Few weeks later, a terrible sickness broke out in the village. 3 people were rushed to the village clinic. The sickness came from the stream water. Homer fell sick too. She began to vomit. Her stomach twisted in pain. She couldn't eat. She couldn't talk. She couldn't stand straight. Her body was burning with fever. Her mother rushed her to the clinic. After test, Dr. Emeka said,
"She has a serious case of typhoid. It came from the stream water. If we don't treat her quickly, she might not survive."
Mama Homer broke down in tears. She sat beside her daughter's bed day and night, praying and crying.
"God, please save my daughter. I know she has been stubborn, but please don't let her die."
Homer laid there weak, unable to speak. But deep inside, she was scared, very scared. One day, while she was still recovering, something shocking happened. All the people Homer had argued with before, Titi, Amaka, Ebera, even Mama Yugo's daughter, visited her in the clinic. They brought fruits, boiled water, and prayers.
"Homer, we know you were proud, but we still care about you. We are glad you are okay."
Homer's eyes filled with tears. For the first time in her life, she didn't argue. She just nodded slowly and cried. When Homer got well and came back home, she didn't talk much at first. But one evening, in front of her mother and some villagers, she knelt down and said,
"I was proud. I thought I knew everything. But I almost died because of my big mouth. Please forgive me."
Everyone was surprised. The Miss Right they know had finally admitted that she was wrong. From that day, Homer changed. She helped her mother at the poultry. She stopped arguing. She stopped fighting. She greeted elders with respect. She was now a happy girl and not a troublemaker or an argumentative girl. She even began to teach younger girls how to behave well and avoid mistakes. And the children called her Sister Homer, and mothers began telling their daughters to learn from her. Her mother smiled every day. The mothers returned to buy chickens from her. Her stall became full with customers. Laughter returned to her stall. And one day, as Mama Homer watched her daughter feed the fowls with a smile on her face, she looked up to the sky and said,
God really answers prayers even for the mothers of stubborn children. Thank you, God.
It's not enough to know something, how you speak and treat others matters more than winning an argument. Peace is better than being right. Knowing when to stay calm and let things go is a sign of wisdom, because true wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet. Change is possible for anyone if they are willing to listen, reflect, and grow. Always arguing and trying to win every conversation can destroy relationships and bring shame to your family. A single person's bad behavior can affect the whole family. Parents suffer silently when their children misbehave, so children, honor your parents with your actions. Mama Homer's tears were not just from pain but from watching her child go astray despite her warnings. Your voice can either destroy or build, so choose to build. Words are powerful. Use them to spread peace, not conflict. A loud voice doesn't prove wisdom, but a humble heart earns respect. Homer's shouting and refusal to listen made her lose friends, respect, and her mother's happiness, but her humility brought them back. Respect your parents and protect their name. A child who brings shame to their parents causes them pain. And for parents, patience and love, even in the face of disappointment, can still lead a stubborn child back to the right path. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story. Kindly leave your thoughts in the comment section and also do well to share with your family, friends, in fact all your loved ones. Something good is always coming, so please stay tuned for more interesting and amazing stories from this channel.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to Hopella Stories.